Hino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the ravens? That ought to be enough for a proper sword, he thought?
I don't know why, but oh, those are healing fruits. I don't know why, but every time I'm playing a game and I come to an area where it's just farms around, I get very, attracted to the area immediately, and I'm just like walking around. However, if I ever come to an urban area or stuff like that, I may just walk straight past it. Shameful, it took one hit.
These days. Just 2 weeks past, Reynardo had sneaked through an empty town and listened to the ravens call about the Emperor's new taste in ritual sacrifice. If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger.
Oh, hello. You weren't there before. Not what I remember, at least. I love how they give me an option to actually, walk back. But not what I really want.
Reynardo looked around the empty village and reflected. The Sky Ripper had turned out to be far too dangerous to be used. Time to turn to what he knew best.
Haven't been here?
Do you guys ever eat fresh food? Because you don't smell like it.
Look. I realized that I went...
There was blood on this one, so it hadn't saved its owner.
Gotta check what that was though, but not sure. Why? Come on, you shit. Come on.
Reynardo remembered when the government had introduced the healing fruit. Some people said it was going to bankrupt the economy, but it seemed to work very well.
Healing fruit. We are now gonna make a healing fruit. Right, sorry.
So that's what they meant by a firewall. What unlocks a firewall?
Ah, firewall. The game does have its moments at times. You're shooting, right? Oh, go. There we go. Although I probably hit my head quite hard. Hard. It's harder now. Right, anyway. It reminds me a little...
His sword food teacher used to say power gems were cheating. Stupid old fart.
I don't know why, but this music sometimes reminds me of the... What's this called? Seems medieval. I don't know why, it just reminds me.
Nice. That could be useful.
It could. Oh, even more of them. Oh, look. Ow.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Well, unless he really was a traitor, obviously. Then they'd probably pin a medal on his chest.
Or eat it. I figure every time you come by a large open space, you can bet your tiny ass that there's gonna be a fighting sequel. Oh shit, hello.
That is how we do it, said Renato to himself.
Another
Lupino
place that I
would
like
betray
in
him.
games.
But now Renato knew that. What would Lupino do if he knew that Lupino was going to betray him? Well, he'd concoct some crazy scheme, wouldn't he? That used Lupino's betrayal against him and it would blow up in his face. Yeah. Maybe he was overthinking this. Well, that would be a first. Impatient.
Another thing I like, other than farmlands in games, are dark areas like this. So if I ever get to a cemetery or something like where the dead would most likely knock on the door and say hello, I also walk around there for a bit, especially if it's an undead farm. What's that? Okay, so this is a very old letter, I must say.
rock felt hot in his hand. He could feel its secret power.
Hello.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
I'm actually gonna try one thing. I have
Zenobia
done.
wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword Fu school. And you're still mad for her, the rabbit reminded him. They'd been close. She'd told him things no one else knew. But she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lapino. Taking her would change the game, all right. The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
If war was pretty, everyone would be doing it. Well, then again, there's people who think that everything is a war as soon as someone does something to them. So yeah. Any second now, come on. I wanna see what's down here actually. Oh, hello, ravens. Look at that. Interesting.
The city was burning, and there was no one to put out the fires. If somehow Zenobia survived her father and inherited his crown, what sort of empire would she be heir to? But he couldn't think about that, could he?
An empire in ruins, most likely. There we go, finally. Ravens that can fly, okay.
Everybody knew you shouldn't trust a raven further than you could throw one. But did vertical drop count?
Hello? Let me see if these are the amps I have. Energy on kill. Kill breaker. Attack speed. I think I keep with what I have. They've been serving me quite well so far.
Hero wall, hero sword, firewall, fire extinguisher.
I've never been here, I think.
This stone was incredibly valuable. Bernardo could sense it. Also, it still had its price tag.
Right. Price tag. So let's go the way we didn't. And yes, you guessed it, down there is where we're going.
Why was Lupino urging him to capture Zenobia? Obviously it was a trap. But you never knew how Lupino thought. Sometimes his plans were so convoluted they did the exact opposite to what Lupino wanted. Yeah, there must be some way to play on that, Bernardo thought.
I would jump down there, but I have no idea what it would do, but actually let's do it. I've never done that.
Some way to break the ice with this wall, so to speak.
Lovely. Sewage. That's another thing I like in games, you know, areas that's ow. Good.
What's for dinner, he thought. Hope it's not broccoli.
That's a weird thing to have a last thought of. I always like to try and get past these things without killing them. But as you can see, it's not the easiest piece of pie. So... darn it. Well, yeah, actually, I think I have been here once. Oh well. Shameful. Hello, sir. And there you are.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renardo.
I'm gonna do with that one again.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lupino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
And I'm gonna go check what's in here.
Yeah! What's
can always-
behind door number 2?
A lot of peekaboo. That was fast. Damn. Yeah, there we go. I want to open this chest. Thank you.
A magical jewel.
Oh, nice.
Renato couldn't wait to find a workbench.
No, get away, get away. And there we go. Hello.
Renato felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Peppino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Renato jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. "Renato," she said, "are those new scars? They look good on you. You never returned my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two," said Lapino. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye, without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah, Lapino was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. "You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you?" she said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Renato saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. "Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost," yelled Lapino. "You have to catch her."
You know, all these islands are floating. What if you jump and, you know, you have a parachute and you just glide past the fucking island? What do? Do you just keep on gliding? Oh, we're here.
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
Nothing like chasing your love interest, is there?
Now, dootsie-doo.
And that's how you do it. Come on, you.
I wonder what happens if I go that way.
I guess that indicates I've never been here. I don't know how many times I walked up this gigantic stairs, but it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a few.
sensed the jewel's power. He had a feeling they were going to be great friends.
That was quick. I got to second level 2 not long ago.
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his. There was a sign. Take the goat across first.
Huh? I guess it's something along with the fox, the hen, and the corns. But you should take the hen first, and then you take the. Then what do? Let's see. You take the hen. You take the hen. No, then you sail back, and you take the. Fuck. No, what is it? It's the. It's hen. Fuck. You always take the hen back though. Hen, fox, hen back, and then I think it's the corn.
Bernardo reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, "Please, I'm enjoying this a little too much," she said, shaken. "Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you?" said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebel secret base. Renato didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Now here's where I'm gonna go different. The first time I went this one, so I'm gonna go there now.
The ruins, Renato could see ravens everywhere, searching for the rebel base. They'd have to hide the Farfarer or go on foot. "What if we get separated?" asked Lapino, for once thinking ahead. "I'll draw you a map to the base." Renato told Lapino. "Renato, don't do this," said Zenobia. "We were friends once. Shut it, witch, or I'll shackle your mouth too," said Lapino. See? Renato thought. There was no way Lapino was working for the Empire. He really hated Zenobia. And then, a few moments later, they touched down.
Right, so that's what I had done different. And I probably know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna let the game tell you what's gonna happen instead. What a raven.
As Lapino pulled Zenobia off the Farfarer, Renato readied himself for the battle ahead. "I'm sorry I nicked your jacket," she said. "It's just... oh God. It's stupid, but it smelled like you." "What?" he said, confused. "Then... why didn't you write? Why didn't you far speak?" "Oh, save the romantic nostalgia. Let's go!" shrieked Lapino. So Renato launched himself down the path to the secret base.
And I'm quite fucking sure he's gonna do something else. Like accidentally hold that map up to someone who shouldn't see it.
"You interrupted story time," called the lead raven. "Now we'll never find out how it ended."
Oh, sorry about that, son. Imagine hearing a story and then all of a sudden it die. I mean, would your spirit not leave this earth until it knows how the story ended? Maybe, maybe. Who knows? I not really want to try that out, but anyway.
Renato had misgivings. It had been Lapino's idea to capture Zenobia. Lapino who'd guessed she'd run to the outpost. There was something wrong with the way none of Lapino's plans had gone wrong yet. It wasn't like him.
Hey, you can probably guess. Hello. Hey, level up.
They caught their breath. It's beautiful, she said, looking at the ruins. This used to be the library of Ubar, he said. Before your father's ravens smashed it. Do we have to talk politics? She asked. That's not how I want to remember you, she said with an odd, wistful look at her face. She was as beautiful as she'd ever been, and as brave. Lapino huffed. They got back on the trail.
Thank you. This way?
This is quite the view, he thought.
I wish I could see it too. That was quite nice, I dare say.
This chest made music when you opened it. Too bad it was Muzak.
What? Wow, look at all the books. Jeez. I think it would be coming that way if I was just walking over. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna die if something happens now.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Got it.
Should have faked left and then gone left, he thought. And then, he never thought again.
Oh well, I gained back half my hit points and a little more. I first gonna go this way, however.
The new pathway made Renato curious.
Okay, so I've never been here. Okay. So now I think I have all level 3s.
As they made their way to the secret rebel base, Renato felt strange. Zenobia was his prisoner, yet somehow she felt more like an old friend. He wanted to tell her all his secrets, but suddenly the ruins lit up with thousands of fireworks. There was a thunderous roar and dust rose. The caves were collapsing. The caves! You've been playing me? Renato said, and he stared at Zenobia. I'm sorry, she said, and she seemed almost embarrassed. Then everything went dark. When Renato came to, he had a terrible headache. Also, Zenobia's sword was at his throat, and her shackles were gone. So was Lupino. The terrible thing is, he said, I really have missed you. Now that we've destroyed the rebellion, would you consider becoming an advisor to the Emperor's daughter? I'm no one's servant. Everybody serves. Even if it's only destiny. I like to choose my own destinies, he said. The whole point of a destiny is you can't choose. Oh, never mind, she said. Look, if I see you again, I'll have to kill you. He watched her ship soar away. He would see her again, he decided, even if he had to fight his way across the entire fleet.
And it always, almost always ends with this map. I don't know why, but it almost always does. I think there's only been one time it was not, but all other time has been this map.
The Imperial fleet was cleaning up the few rebel remnants. For only a moment, he thought about running. But heroes don't run, even when the world is against them. Even when their cause is...
Fucking Windows update. Couldn't care less.
there was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before? Boy, someone has spent a lot of money for a graduation present.
Oh no, that's my ship. What is stopping this ship from floating away?
Bernardo's arm was sore, his armor wet with raven blood. He was tired of death. But death was not yet tired of him. The rebels were losing. Badly. In some other universe, Bernardo thought, he and Zenobia had left sword fu school together, taken other names and sailed off into the mists. But not this Zenobia. And not him. For him, there was nothing to do but forge ahead. Kill the Emperor and end it.
Likewise, what is stopping this thing from just fucking off? Yeah, where?
This was definitely better than pulling yourself up in a bucket.
Darn, that's what easy. Almost. Ah! Oh my god. Ooh. That's the first time I actually got hit by them.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared death. And now it was coming for him. There was some sort of lesson there, wasn't there?
If only I could... There we go. What was that? 70? And I didn't even take damage. How lovely.
At last, he reached the Emperor's ship. Zenobia was there. Why'd you have to come back? She said, guess I'm just serving my destiny. He shrugged. You don't even know what that word means. She said, do you ever wonder if things have been different all the time? She said, and drew her sword. In the end, Bernardo lay bleeding out on the deck. Zenobia sat by his side, upset. "What are you so upset about?" he asked. "You wouldn't understand. Why didn't you tell me you were going to leave school? I was afraid you'd convince me not to." "I guess I'll have to buy you a drink in the halls of the Valiant then," he told her, and then he was gone. He should go back to some of the choices he'd faced before. Maybe there were new paths that had opened up, like those doors he was opening up all over the map that took him to new treasures and around his enemies. But he'd learned another true thing. Zenobia still had feelings for him.
Right, I unlocked all the truths. Wait. Hold on, I didn't read this. Right. When did I click this? I don't know. Right, so
The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again, faster than before, and he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
So, I have no idea what that P means, but I hope you all enjoyed what you saw. I most certainly have, and farewell.